Welcome to Results Will Vary, a good, bad, and ugly advice show. My name is Russell Bates, advice wunderkind, giggly son of a bitch, and the coolest of cool cats, like I said in episode 8. And I'm so delighted that you come back for our 12th episode. We had Dylan Morris and Ahaz Khalid on the last one from RLDS. We got it. We're continuing on with the RLDS bus. First, have Olivia Rog here. Hi, Olivia.
Hi.
And then Dylan, I didn't ask how to pronounce your last name.
Schueler. Hi guys. I'm Dylan. What's up, guys? I do funny.
Very appreciative to have you guys on the show. How are you guys feeling with advice? You know, do people come to you for advice, or would you say you're a wise person? Have you been smacked in the face enough to know what it feels like? I don't know why that went to my mind.
I'd say I smacked enough faces, but
good,
I
good.
feel like I'm quite wise. My wisdom teeth are coming in.
You smacked people on stage?
No, specifically Olivia on stage. I did.
Wait, well, okay. I think that's a different show. I think that's a different show.
It was a fake slap, but
well, of course you don't remember it, Olivia. All right, why do I feel that? So thank you everybody for coming into Results Will Vary, a good, bad, and ugly advice show. How the show works is that we take listener submitted questions, and for their diverse set of problems, we give them a diverse set of solutions. First person we rotate around is going to be giving a good piece of advice. The second person is going to be giving a bad piece of advice, and you'll see what that means in a bit. And the last person will be giving a out of the balls to the wall, dirtiest box of your mind, left of center field, taking it right back up your ass sort of ugly advice. And we're gonna have a great time. Are we ready, y'all, for our first question?
Ready. I'm ready to fucking kill it.
All right. That's the sort of intensity that I'm looking for, Olivia. Let's get going. All right, let's get on to our first question. For this first question, Olivia will be giving the good advice, I will be giving the bad advice, and Dylan will be giving the ugly advice. All right, here we go. Dear Results Will Vary. I fall into the same old boring small talk over and over and over again. Talking about weather, sports, pop culture with no real substance in my conversations have really made my days kind of blue. How can I break this cycle and start having more interesting and insightful conversations with my peers? And this comes from Carol in Montreal. My favorite thing is the sort of interaction of, hi, how are you? Good. It's essentially just a function at this point of nothingness. So what would you say, Olivia, makes better conversations, and how, yeah.
God, Carol. Sounds like you're living a boring life. No, I'm just kidding.
That's the spark we need, all right?
I'd say I used to be, after COVID, I used to be super socially awkward just because, like, and I played a lot of video games, so I had video game lingo, and conversations in real life do not work that way. But I listen to a lot of podcasts and asking questions. So asking questions like, for example, Dylan, like, oh my gosh, that bandana, where'd you get it? I've been trying to cover my 5 head, you know? And
but I got a 6 over here, you know?
Yeah, so we all need bandanas. See, that's a conversation starter. We all have huge foreheads besides Dylan. And just asking questions about the other person and like actually being interested in the question that you're asking. So it's like, whoa, your teeth are so white. Like, how'd you like Listerine? You know, like
what do you eat?
Yeah. Or
do you just eat mints?
You can't have conversations with people that don't. I don't know. Once I tried to have a conversation with this girl and I was asking her a lot of questions. I was like, whoa, you're this, you're that, you know? And like, I just get a response like,
just very pert lips and do that. What is good internet video game lingo etiquette?
Etiquette?
Etiquette.
Etiquette.
We're not adding any kids into online video games because
etiquette. Oh my gosh, not talking the whole time. I've like joined
Okay.
I'm lonely, so I don't like to play like solo video games, but I want to. I want to play The Last of Us. Anyways, not talking the whole time. There was this one guy who just like kept, oh my God, or talking out of your ass, and I mean this literally like
You mean literally talking out of your ass?
and then this one guy was like, "Hey, like, have you been here the whole time? I haven't heard you talk." And I was like, yeah, because you're talking, dude. Like,
I would say
yeah,
that it would extend to real life lingo, and being good is that it's a conversation is a tossing back and forth of stuff.
exactly.
What do you think makes a good conversation, Dylan?
Well, honestly, I think, Carol, what you're doing right now is perfect. Isolate yourself
You
in
are
your room.
speaking, yes.
Isolate yourself in your room. Don't talk to anyone. If you make
Oh, oh,
plans,
oh, 1 second, 1 second. So sorry. You're getting on to your ugly advice. I gotta give my advice. Sorry, I was just
oh,
asking
I'm sorry, my
genuinely how
bad, my
you think
bad.
I said. We just jumped the
Dylan,
order a little bit. No, that's fine.
You're
That's
good, you're
fine.
good, you're good.
that's
See,
fucked
what you
up.
have to do, see, this is staying in. This is what you have to do to have a bad conversation. No. What you have to do is what Dylan just did right now. No.
Is to not follow the rules.
It's to not follow the
Exactly,
rules. You got to
exactly.
be. Dylan is the bad boy of linguistics,
Yeah.
okay?
Yeah, but yeah, 100%.
Dylan doesn't follow the rules, and you need to be more like Dylan. Olivia gave good advice, and I'm here to give you the bad advice of what you have to do is interrupt everybody. What you have to do is go in, just kind of drift in conversation of talking about anything you want. I know this happens a lot in old people. For example, the other day I was at Jewel Osco, and I there was some 50-cent chips, like full giant bag of tortilla chips, cafe style, for 50 cents. And I was just walking by and it was like, holy crap, they're giving this stuff away. And I pick one up, put it in my basket, and then this very old man with a Vietnam veteran hat on, Vietnam veteran hat,
Mhm.
just kind of came up to me. It's like, man, it's a steal, right? It's you got to be doing what you got to do in this day. And I was like, yeah, do a conversation thing. It was like, well, did you see how much I bought for eggs? You know, getting a commonality in between us. And then he started talking about cars, just on just for no reason. Just
Oh.
brought no, he brought it up because in the state of the economy is like he likes cars and getting it. But then we on the middle of the floor in Jewel Osco, he kind of talked at me for like an hour, and I'm I'm the type of person that like I won't disengage that because he's a goddamn Vietnam veteran. Of course, I'm gonna like sit there and listen and let them talk at
Did
me
you say thank
because
you for your service?
I did say thank you for my service because I'm a true patriot. Um, yeah, even though I would say it was a very one-sided conversation, it was nice and insightful. So, but Dylan, I would say my bad advice is to be like you. No. What is the initial
Wow.
thing you were wanting to say?
Lock yourself in your room. Don't talk to
Okay.
anybody. If you make plans with someone, just stress and get anxious about it and then cancel and then, watch a movie or watch TikToks in your room. If you make eye contact with someone, don't speak to them.
Okay.
Yeah.
What is the longest you've stayed in your room?
Um, I was unemployed for like 3 months at a point, and I was like super depressed. So probably like 24 hours.
24 hours?
I was in the house where I would like make food and like hibernate in the room, but
Okay,
like
hibernating in your room.
yeah, and I would just like kind of like sit there like under the covers like cookie,
That
saltine.
I've probably spent time in my room plus 24 hours. That's the best way to get yourself out of a funk. But Olivia, what is your isolation chamber? How long have you spent in your room before?
I've been spending a lot of time in my room. as of the moment because I don't know, post grad, I don't know what to do. I'm like the scaries. But
Ah!
after graduating, my room was an absolute mess, and it's better now. A little bit. It's better. It's a lot better.
If
I
you
spent
had
like
to hide in if you put all of your clothes out onto the floor and create like a pile in it, how long do you think you could survive living in that pile of clothing?
I'm resourceful, you know that.
I don't know
I
why I just asked that. I was just
No, that's
okay. Keep
fair. And I mean that's nothing compared to a zombie apocalypse, I'll say that. I could definitely survive that too.
you
I'll
could
make
become a
it
clothes
through. I
monster.
don't
Yeah.
it doesn't matter how long it's
With just the stuff in your room, you could survive a zombie apocalypse.
I mean, I have a bottle of tequila and some snacks. I think I'll be good.
Yeah, and
You're
then when
gonna
you're done with the bottle, just you got a weapon. Boom.
I'll hunt. I'll
There you
hunt.
go.
We
Yeah.
have squirrels and raccoons.
you can Molotov cocktail in your room.
Ooh, good
Yeah.
idea. Good
It's a
idea.
great idea. I've got quite a extensive closet, so I think I could last a good like few months just kind of being in a cocoon of my own clothing. And if for some reason the zombie apocalypse does happen to be there, what I do is I just become the clothes monster. Just get just get up, use all of my belts as like little tendrils and go whoo to all the zombies.
I would love to see. That's like a perfect like comic book villain, the clothes monster. Like that. That could be such a cool design for a villain. That's really cool.
No, that's how you get your kids to do laundry.
Yeah, right. Tide is gonna be all over this.
Oh my goodness. Um, I think we gave some pretty darn freaking good to and insightful advice here, y'all. I think we
Yeah.
should get going on to our next question.
Hell
All right,
yeah.
Don't fuck this one up. I swear.
fuck.
Got it.
All right, let's go. All right, let's get back on to the results of a very train because that's a thing. Uh, all right. All right, let's get on to our second question. For this question, Dylan will be giving the good advice, Olivia will be giving the bad advice, and I will be giving the ugly advice. All right, let's go. Dear results will vary. I want to run faster. How do I run faster? And this
Ooh.
comes from a slowpoke in Vancouver. All right, that's all you get. Dylan, how are you on your feet?
I used to run track and cross country, so I wasn't very good, but I did it.
Okay, and you know what? That's all we gotta do. Doing is being good, you know?
Start going on some long walks.
Mm.
You got to
Okay.
walk before you run. And then once you're like, okay, I'm enjoying these walks, then you speed it up to a jog and then keep jogging and make a point like, oh, I'm going to jog to that stop sign and then I'm going to take a little break and I'm going to walk for a little bit and then I'm going to do that. And then just keep practice makes everything.
In your time in cross country, what was like your most cross country pilled ever? Like I'm devoted, I'm running every single day. I'm like totally in this. What's like peak cross country you?
Honestly, he never existed. I really only did it because I had friends in cross country that were really cool and I really enjoyed being around them. And that's why I did it. And it was just, I played ultimate frisbee as well. And I cared a little bit
Mm.
more about that. And cross country was like the conditioning part. It was a really interesting experience. You'd have to run 3.5 miles every Saturday, which sounds horrible, but it gets to a point where it's like,
Oh, it sounds awful.
this is horrible. Mile two. All right, fuck it. I guess I'll just finish it out. Mile three. I got like 500 meters to go or whatever. And then it's just, you finish and you're just, wow, I did that. I'm gonna go lay down for like 20 minutes. And then,
Did
someone dumps
Did you ever
Gatorade.
get a runner's high? Like, I know, first off, I'm a swimmer, and so I think we should have never left the water. Personally, I think it is an abomination what these legs things
You
are.
could have had
Just
gills by
kind
now.
yeah, we could have had gills by now, and all I had to do was freaking,
Exactly.
and we could
That's
have
why
just
we
kept
always play
doing that.
mermaids.
That's
We
true.
could have just kept doing that, and we would have been fine. Nothing would have. None of the problems in our world would be doing this. But when you start swimming for a long period of time, the first 1,000 meters are like brutal. But then you start getting into like 2,000, 3,000, and for some reason it starts like feeling okay. Do you ever get that?
When I was in high school doing it, no, but now if I go running, if you're like really stressed and anxious and you go for a run, you feel a hell of a lot better once
Ooh,
you're like,
cool.
because you're not thinking, you're just like you're huffing over, wheezing, like I think I'm gonna pass out, but
I totally agree with that of how to get
Yeah.
faster is by actually doing it. But Olivia, that's
Yeah.
bullshit, right? Tell us how you really
Yeah,
feel.
like honestly, Dylan, let's go on the street. Let's take a race and we'll see whose advice wins. All right, buddy.
Oh, wow.
What you really want to do and what I used to be doing because I'm a bit retired, never was in track, but always been a star. I used to
Wow.
do this with my brother a lot, is I know bars. I should be a rapper. Um,
100%.
is when you're heading back to your home, your apartment, your car, your place of belonging and self.
Your
Is
clothing pile. Yeah.
exactly, exactly. You have to pretend like there's a ghost or monster behind you.
Mmm.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah. You might feel a little soiled at the same time, but it's all part of the process. I was in badminton, and sometimes we'd hold our pee because we'd want to win the game so fast, so then we could go use the restroom.
What is the don't actually be serious on this one. What is the monster that would make you run the fastest? What in your life would make you run away the fastest?
Probably Dylan without the bandana.
what? My five head's that bad?
I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. Oh, probably like a shark that looks like they're gonna eat you. Probably a shark.
That's talking to you about what your future is going to be like, or like what are you going to use with your how are you going to make a living, or like what are you going to do outside of
Is the
this, you
shark
know?
like all my relatives
Self-doubt.
at family parties? How's school going?
That's yeah, it's fight or flight, and you're using obviously flight, Olivia, to get better
Yeah.
and use
I
it.
mean, I'm usually a fighter because I'm a lover, but
A Keanu Reeves, yes.
you gotta use all abilities that are available in the present moment.
When you say running away from a monster, I really didn't understand it because I think if you want to beat the monster, you have to become the monster. So again, my advice, become the clothing monster. What the clothings are going to do is going to weigh you down enough to the point that once you take it off, if you ever take it off, because you may just want to be the clothing monster. I don't know about you guys, but sometimes I just want to stick myself in a pile and just kind of never go out.
Relatable.
Yeah. Seems like you don't have fight or flight.
No, I have lay and submit.
Oh,
Lance.
fawn. I think that's
Yeah.
fawn. Yeah.
What? Fun?
Fawn. Yeah, I think it's most commonly in this is actually maybe too dark, but it's like when something serious, like an actual monster, like clothing
Mm.
monster, instead of like it's kind of like freeze where you're like, yes, monster, like I'm fine here. Like they'll just you want me to do the laundry? Like I'll do the laundry, you know? I won't
Oh,
run.
that's scary if the clothing monster asks you to do their laundry. That's like, what do you want me to do to
Hey,
you?
if I can't run or fight, like I'll do the laundry. Someone has to carry the boat.
What would be in my clothing pile is a pair of rocket boots, rocket skates, really, uh,
Okay.
pair of rocket roller
Okay,
skates, and
wheels.
I was just kind of thinking, like, Wile E. Coyote is notoriously successful. Emulate Wile E. Coyote when you're coming to try to catch that roadrunner. Get a whole
Yeah.
bunch of dynamite, stick it on your back, have those rocket boots as you're the clothes monster. You know, do you guys think you'd actually do well on a pair of rocket skates?
Yes.
Ooh, my balance sucks. No.
I'm good at everything.
But it sounds so cool. Sounds so fucking cool.
What is your name again? Slowpoke. That's what I wrote. You're gonna get faster. You're gonna speed it up, pal.
Probably not.
Oh, he
Really?
will. He will. He's gonna practice.
I
He's
mean, they have already called themselves slowpoke, and I am a strong believer in belief. And if you believe that you're a slowpoke, then you will be a slowpoke. But if you call yourself fast poke, then hey, it might be turning around for
Oh,
you.
okay.
But
That's good
you
advice.
kind of quit
That's
before you start, you know what I mean?
This sounds like an underdog story to me. I don't know.
you need to call yourself fast poke right now. And I
Exactly.
think that we should be getting going to our next
Hell
question. How do
yeah.
we feel? Hell yeah.
Pretty good. Pretty good.
Let's fucking go.
And we're back. All right, everyone, for our final question, I'll be giving the good advice, Dylan will be giving the bad advice, and Olivia will be giving the ugly advice. All right. Dear, results will vary. My best friend just got the job of her dreams, one which she has been pursuing all of her life. The bittersweet news is that she will be moving to Europe, and once she leaves, well, it may be the last time I see her for a very long time. How do I say goodbye to her? And then how can I cope with this feeling of loss? And this comes from Izzy in Nova Scotia.
Nova
Yeah.
Scotia?
You
What
said
was
best
the place?
friend?
Nova Scotia?
Nova Scotia, yeah.
Oh my God.
Because that's where they are. That's how people
Oh,
work, is that they live somewhere and then they go away. Have you guys dealt with like people going, people leaving from your life and kind of having to say goodbyes? What does a goodbye mean to you?
I am in a relationship and very early on, the first like after like 2 months of being together, 6 months, we were a long distance. I was studying abroad in Barcelona. Whoa!
Whoa!
Whoa. And it was really tough. He visited, which was like the best ever, but it was just like a lot of FaceTimes and a lot of games, like relationship games, or even if it's not a romantic relationship, games of like, what's your favorite color?
You can still stay in contact. It's going to be different. It's going to be different of like not having the physical person there, but you can still have their essence throughout your life. Just because they're gone doesn't mean they've left. I've definitely had people in my life leave and just never come back. And it's not often that you get a person that, well, goes but kind of stays, you know what I mean? Like a lot of people deal with it with like grief and losing like a loved one, of realizing that they're completely gone and they're not coming back, but there's also part of you that part of them that stays within you. It takes time and it takes understanding like what who they are and what they meant to you, to not necessarily find a replacement, but find within yourself what made them fulfilling. Grief is a lot. Grief is a lot. But I guess Dylan, good advice. Like, have you kind of dealt with grief and loss before? Go as much as you want. Don't have to say anything.
Yeah. And honestly, it's like I feel like whether or not you get closure, whatever that means to you, is a big thing. If you don't have that, it might dictate how you
Mm-hmm.
react to the loss going forward. And yeah, no, I had to deal with a similar situation but I didn't have the closure. It was just kind of up and gone. And it's
Yeah.
someone very important to me at the time. And so, and it can get really sad, very sad.
Dylan, from what I can tell from you as a person, you are a very full and well-rounded lived life.
They really
I
do.
I can tell from your art that you're very rich in spirit and soul, and it's these pains that create, it sort of like forges that fire, because I've had people important to me leave, and it's constant at times, and it feels constant, and it is sad. But would I want that thickened skin? Yes. So good on you, Dylan. Good on
Thank you.
you,
I
Olivia.
appreciate that.
Good on this. But fuck all that. We're here to get funny again. Yeah. This person, they're leaving. They're saying goodbye, but what do we do? Are we gonna throw them a fucking kegger, or gonna throw a big party, or are we just gonna say fuck them, get them out of here? What's some bad advice for saying goodbye to loved ones? Oh
Here's what you
God.
do. You don't say goodbye.
Okay.
You quit your job. You tell your family, your roommate, whoever you're living with, I'm leaving. I'm going to Europe. And you're not going to tell your friend you're moving to Europe. And you're just going to
Yeah.
do it. And you don't.
Surprise
Okay.
them. No, you go to Europe, you don't even go to see them. You just
Yeah,
go.
yeah, you just
You just go.
yeah, you go to Germany, you get some beer, you go to
Get some
Oktoberfest, you
schnitzel.
enjoy your life. Fuck your friend.
Fuck your
Yeah.
friend. What's the most efficient way to sneak yourself into their luggage?
Ooh,
Contortioning,
yeah, start
dieting,
Yes.
running.
every day, like
Start
how much
running every
can I
day.
put myself into a ball, and then you'll get even smaller every day you do it. And then finally, if you can get one of those boxes at Home Depot, get like three of them, and then get some like weld it, steel shut, so they can't open it. And then make sure your friend has a welder so they can un get you through. And then
Just
I
make sure your
like this
friend's a
boat.
welder. I
go.
love that.
Oh, poke some air
Only
holes
have
too.
welder
You gotta
friends.
breathe.
Only have welder friends.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. Make sure your friends are welders.
I have a couple. My neighbor.
Yeah, I totally agree. What is sort of your approach to when they actually see that you're with them? Like, what's sort of the ingratiating process to being like,
There's two
your
ways to go about this.
Olivia's face?
Didn't see you here.
There's like the hey, I'm here, or you just go 100% all in. What's up? And then if they're cool and they like to match your energy, they'll hide that they're terrified and pissed that you're here and just be like, "What's up?
Okay,
I guess you're
sure.
Dylan,
here
Dylan,
now."
what if the person leaving was trying to get away from the person who hid in the suitcase? Like what do you think would like that happen?
I think they'd probably file a restraining order.
They
Be
would
like,
probably
"Yeah,
weld you into the box, you
we're
know?
done. We're done."
They would not unweld you. Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
KGB be like, "Hey, I have a box."
Hey, I
Okay.
have a box with an American spy in here. Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. Target
And
needs to be eliminated.
And so the problem is that you know the notorious like New Year's baby that pops out of the cake
Hmm.
or
Yeah.
that you just dress up like a Cupid or a baby when you're coming in there and then you're wheeled into the KGB headquarters they get like
Fully naked.
and then it's like hello oh and then they immediately clamp the electric things on your nipples and start
Oh
interrogating.
my God.
It's not that bad.
What?
What?
What? No, I heard that from a friend.
Okay. I'm
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
sure. I'm
Yeah.
That's how
sure.
you knew it?
Assumptions.
Okay.
I'm
Assumptions are
sure.
bad, Russell.
Hey, I'm
You kidding?
sorry. What I
Did
just
she go
said
to
was
another
super
school?
fucking weird.
Anyways,
What's
my
some ugly advice?
some ugly advice. God, this is tough because we just like got really down in our hearts about this, but I just say get over it.
Okay,
There's
okay.
other people in the world. Come on. No. Oh, that's so mean. That is the ugly advice. I'd say that is, I mean,
Yeah.
to be fair, like I've also have grieved and been through very difficult situations as a lot of people have. But some kind of good advice is grief is a monster that can never be killed, but it could slowly be tamed. So time will help and no self-blame or blame in general is bad.
So you're
But for
recommending to become the monster? Is this what I'm hearing?
Yeah, I'm saying get over it, build some thick skin, go work out. You seem like you cry a lot. Susie, Carol, what's her
Where's
name?
a great place to cry a lot? Kind of in your room alone?
Yeah.
In public. In public. Make people uncomfortable. Start crying. Come on, they're the assholes for not coming up and consoling you. No, and when they do come up and console you, go like, no, no, I don't need it. I don't need it. I don't need it, you know?
Get in a claustrophobic
Make
elevator and just
everyone
start crying.
uncomfortable. And then that pain and embarrassment will be like a band-aid over the pain of like not seeing your friend.
You just kind of came out of a 3-month stupor inside your room. What are we wearing at this time?
Possibly something offensive.
Maybe something like your entire clothing. Uh,
Maybe like,
maybe you become, I don't know, the clothing monster.
yeah,
Back to the clothing
yeah,
line.
or like bad things. Like really, like offensive
Draw a
things.
swastika on your forehead and then just go.
Hey,
Hey, they'll
that's
know.
an idea.
They'll know who you're with.
Become Charles Manson. We're doing this.
That's some thick skin,
Um,
huh?
we're gonna cut that. When you're saying get over it, I agree. Become a total monster. Become the clothing monster,
Yeah,
maybe,
just be
and
rude to
everything.
everyone,
But
complain.
getting over it specifically, I think we should go to heaven and look, make our trip to heaven, and maybe just look over them the entire time. You know what I mean? You
Yeah.
could be an asshole in heaven.
Are you suggesting unaliving oneself or
I mean, a clothing monster is a clothing monster, you know. Who knows what's behind that
yeah. I
pile?
feel bad that people can't relate because I feel like I'm constantly in heaven because I'm like super cool. But yeah, I guess it's not as easy for other people to get over it as easy it is for me.
Just get over it. Dylan, what do you have to say about that? Because you're such an interrupter. No.
Um, just don't be sad.
Wrong.
Nope.
No.
And that's been resourceful very. Okay, guys, thank you so much for coming on. This was such a delight. I very much appreciate you guys coming on. But now we're in the segment of the show where we do plugs. So first off, Dylan, where can people find your art? Where can people find your stuff? How can people seek you out?
You can go to my Instagram at I don't even know what my Insta it's at Dylan Schueler on Instagram. You'll find me. It's my face. Or you can go on YouTube at Geek Tragedy, where I have a bunch of like short films and stuff on there where you can see more of my work.
That the Geek Tragedy stuff is very good. I was watching some of it before we hopped on Zoom and it was like, oh my gosh, you're so talented filmer and director and so
I need to watch
go
some of that.
strive out. How long have you known Dylan?
This year or this
Yep.
Okay.
semester,
Like
no?
6 months.
For a
Uh,
whole semester.
Yeah, yeah. But go seek out his stuff. But Olivia, where can people find you?
Most commonly on my Instagram at zero Olivio
Are people looking to
Olivioso.
cast you? Are you looking to be cast and
Yeah, yeah,
stuff?
for sure. I'm in the process of creating my website, so that'll be linked in my Instagram. You could just put Olivia Rog, Olivia ROG, and it'll probably be linked there later. I don't know. I sh possibly might
I
shrink
I will
though,
keep it
so
updated. I will keep it
yeah.
updated, making
Yeah,
sure that
just
we
you'll
get
just
you there.
walk outside and you'll see me.
That tends to be a lot of people's plugs. It's just like if you see me walking around, don't come up to me, but just know that I'm a
No,
human
come
that
up to
exists.
me. Come up to
Oh,
me and start
okay.
talking to me like you've known me for a while.
yeah.
And it'll work.
Yeah, again, thank you guys too much. You guys are welcome back on anytime. It was very much a delight. Oh, they have for RDL LDS June what Mud City, right? Do you have that improv thing?
RLSD.
RLSD, I
I
can't do
mentioned this
that.
to
RLDS. Red Lake
RLDS.
District School.
you.
But are you two involved in the Mud City thing?
Yes.
Yes, and so they have a show, I think, at Mud City Improv on Instagram. It's a whole bunch of different improv teams if you're
Yeah.
looking to go do that.
Definitely follow us at Red Light School District or RLSD Improv and come see Red Light
I think it's called
shows.
RDLS.
No, no. People want to hear the district. You won't see me anymore besides this summer, but you'll see Dylan killing it
Yeah.
next year as he is our new founding
Oh,
father, aka
cool.
our president. Yeah, super respect on his name. How about that?
Wait, let me put on my president cap that Dylan gave me.
Your
There we go.
president
This was the hat
bandana.
that I have to pass down for generations.
What does it say?
First mate.
This has been Results Will Vary. Results Will Vary you can find on Instagram at Results Will Vary Pod. That's where you can find all our going-ons. I have clips up there. You can just check out little ones. Very chill show, do this for fun. It's a very low impact. I very much appreciate everybody who has been watching and who has been listening. I'm so appreciative of my guests having the time to come and try this and everything. If you're looking to send in a question or give any comments, any sort of advice, really, you can email us at that's my actual email. You can email us at resultswillvarypod@gmail.com. Highly recommend it, because if you send on a question on the show, you're probably going to get read at this point. Again, if you enjoy the show, just continue watching it. Continue being a lovely human being. You can come and go. They're always up here. I'm just super proud of that this is anything at all, so I very much appreciate it. I think that's all. What would you say the moral of today's story is, everyone? What's the moral of today's story? Clothes monster. Just become the clothes monster.
Yeah. If you can't beat it, become it.
And if you actually want to take any of our advice here, first off, don't take any of our advice. But if you do, just remember that results will vary. Goodbye!